How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is well. My royal family, as the plot thickens. When I say juicy, 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 I mean dripping juicy, sweet ass juicy. Ooh wee! I did some digging and it is sweet. Oh yes, the pimp hand is very real. So, a few days ago, my royal family, I had put up a video and I said I was going to follow through. And sometimes what I'll do is I won't jump on a story right away, give it a little time to play itself out, and things will be revealed. So, this racist to the motherfucking core, white supremacist, is smooth ass busted. And he just got busted straight up, because I got some videos to show y'all. I got some stuff to read y'all. And his boss, he just ass greasy. He played real dumb, like he don't know nothing about what this guy have did. He's always worked under him, and he said he has never ever displayed any isms at all. And you know, the thing that's comical to a point about this is they issue out private phones for the government. And if y'all remember all that stuff that happened down in, I think it was in Detroit, where they had like the youngest black mayor ever, and he was having an affair with one of his employees, and they would text each other back and forth, and it was all there. Those texts go in a different data bank, and the reason why they put that mechanism there is because if there's a problem with the employee, they want to check to see if there's a breach. You know, are they a spy? Are they giving information to people across the pond or whatever? Or are they being compromised? And they're not doing their own thinking, because those phones are basically used to talk to other people within the government. That's how all of this is getting busted and stuff. And this dude is a straight ass idiot. And before I play these videos, I got bits and pieces of articles I want to read about how greasy, and also this shows you about white privilege, and it also got me thinking about college scandals, and you'll get it as I read it. As young as he is, this white boy is 32 years old, and he didn't run up the ladder quick. So let's get into it. Let's see here. Chad Catherine is the top aide to Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassada. An investigation by USA Today has revealed that Catherine sends sexually explicit text messages to a number of female interns while he served as House Republicans' press secretary. The messages also revealed that Catherine used derogatory, insulting language to talk about other women he knew. Catherine sent the explicit text messages during the period from 2014 to 2016, and they want to make like this was long ago. We talking about within 5 years. You know, they want to make it like 10, 20 years ago. Like that, oh, that's old. No, this shit ain't old, because I'm saying it. I'm setting the rules on this bitch. Catherine's current boss, Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassada, was included in some of Catherine's derogatory messages sent to women. Catherine has admitted that he sent derogatory, I said that wrong. Glenn Cassidy was included in some of Catherine's degrading messages sent to women. Catherine has admitted that he sent derogatory messages to women that said that the message was part of a consensual relationship between himself and the women. Catherine also said that he was older and now wiser. I'm just not the same guy that I was several years back. Catherine said, I was young and dumb and immature. There's no excuses for it at all, and I'm not trying to make excuses. Your ass is. But I can tell you that I have changed since then. Now check this out. They saying here, he solicited oral sex, nude photos from an intern, and tried to solicit sex from a lobbyist. Okay. Now listen to these damn excuses. So, I can skip that part. We see that he's 32 years old. While he was press secretary, Catherine sent text messages asking for oral sex for nude photos from an intern. He also solicited sex from a lobbyist. Over other messages implied that he would make sexual advances on another intern. Catherine's messages also used derogatory language to describe women who had displeased him. He referred to one woman as a cunt and called that police officer who have given him parking tickets were a cocksucker. See, everything been handed to his ass. This is the ultimate of somebody taking full advantage of a white supremacist system. He don't even want to pay for his own tickets. He think he can park anywhere. He said he had once had a substance abuse problem and admits he used cocaine in the legislative office building. Catherine said that while he was press secretary, he turned to drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism to help him deal with the pressures of the job. He said that he used cocaine and other illegal drugs at the time. Catherine admitted that he even took drugs in the legislative office building. In a statement, Catherine said that he had used, they spelled this word wrong too, maladaptive, I'll show y'all where it is, coping skills like drinking and taking drugs to cope with the pressure of his job, he wrote. Like so many young egotistical men aspiring to a career in politics that came before me, moving up the career ladder was met with unrelenting stress, peer pressure, and unrealistic expectations. I know that is not an excuse. Nevertheless, I unfortunately turned to maladaptive. See, they spelled it wrong. And I had never heard of that word, so I learned something today. And the meaning of maladaptive, because on the top they spelled it wrong, maladaptive, not providing adequate or appropriate adjustment to the environment or situation. In a sentence, maladaptive coping strategies such as increasing consumption of alcohol. All right. So, you know, he in his 20s, fresh out of college, get a top job, and start out the gate making $100,000. And as he moved up rapidly, then he's making $200,000, and he can't take the pressure. No, you don't know what the fuck going on. That's what it is. Because usually they take young folks and make them interns and walk them through, you know, part of the good old boy system, you know. I wonder, is his family wealthy? But no, he couldn't deal with it. So he, messing with drugs and harassing women. Anyway, I unfortunately turned to maladaptive coping mechanisms. However, I thank God for the experience because they have allowed me a unique opportunity to witness to the young men who will come after me that actions have consequences. Bullshit. You just butt hurt. Nobody need to send their children to that racist motherfucker because all he gonna do is teach them, pass down that racism. That's just how they get down. Let me see, is there anything else? Okay, yeah, right here. So Catherine graduated from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville in 2010. That wasn't long ago either in my world. With a degree in political science, his first job after graduation was a field representative for the U.S. House of Representatives. From there, he went to work for the Tennessee House Republican Caucus. He was hired as a political director and then promoted to press secretary. Eventually, he became director of communication. He now works as the top aide to the House Speaker, Glenn Cassida. You see how fast they move? Catherine has said that he turned to drinking and drugs as a response to the intense pressure of the job, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. All I know is that shit is handed to me. I wonder, was he part of that college shit? Make me looking at everybody sideways. Okay, now listen to this sorry shit. Catherine is the top aide to Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassida, as Catherine was accused of sending racist messages. Cassida issued a statement in which he said that Catherine deserves a second chance. Cassida said Catherine had came to him 3 years ago and had told him he was dealing with a personal issue and wanted to seek help. Cassida said Catherine sought counseling and forgiveness, so Cassida said he chose to believe that we all deserve a shot at redemption and give Mr. Catherine this chance to prove himself. Fuck you. You sit up there and lied, covering for his ass, because you was partaking in those sexually explicit text messages. That is just his MO, that he likes fucking around on the phone playing while he's sitting up in there in the cut somewhere not doing a damn thing, just drugged out. You see how they get down? He fucking on the job, getting high on the job, doing all kind of stuff. And in this article, I'm going to send this to you, but the Speaker of the House, Tennessee House Speaker, called lewd Texas locker room talk. Yeah, men have locker room talk. Y'all don't do the shit on the phone. Just be amongst men doing your locker room talk. That's what y'all ass get. See, this goes back to that statement that I always use. Big brother is watching you. And they never thought it would backfire on them. And we've been using it to our advantage. This technology, which is, I always like to throw this in, we had technology far surpassed this. And they just so fascinated with it. They act like they invented it and shit. And they just putting everything down, and everything is being put in a database. And some kind of way it gets pulled up. So anyhow, let's get into these videos. They juicy. So the first one is a little over 4 minutes.
Spaces suddenly appear. Those questions are at the center of the controversy over whether House Speaker Glenn Cassida's office may have tried to frame a student activist.
Now the legislature's Black Caucus wants the TBI to investigate. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams first obtained the disputed email. And Phil, I know you've been taking a closer look at this.
That's exactly right. And this is a screenshot that House Speaker Glenn Cassida's now former chief of staff sent to Nashville's DA in an apparent effort to get activist Justin Jones locked up. If you look closely, there are some discrepancies that the Speaker's office has yet to explain.
If an individual is willing to run a story that's not true about receiving emails, what else are they making up?
On Thursday, House Speaker Glenn Cassida went on the attack just hours after our News Channel 5 investigation revealed that an email sent by his chief of staff, Kate Cothran, had prompted Nashville's DA to ask for a special prosecutor. The email suggested that student activist Justin Jones may have violated a court order to have no contact with the speaker just a day after this incident on February 28th, where a cup was thrown onto Cassidy's elevator and Jones was arrested. Catherine sent the DA this pic of an email from Jones that was dated March 1st, but the activist's email had actually been sent on February 25th, 3 days before his arrest.
TBI needs to conduct an independent investigation of all of these matters related to that email.
The chairman of the legislature's Black Caucus, Representative G.A. Hardaway, says his members are not content with Cassidy's explanation of a computer glitch. After our story first aired, the Speaker's office released Catherine's first email to the DA's office, in which the real date does appear. The chief of staff later sent this pic to the DA with the bogus date. Cassidy's office says that's the date the email was actually delivered. But take a closer look. In the real email, the date appears on the second line. But in Catherine's pic, the bogus date appears under the email addresses.
The screenshot of the email truncated the email so that the only date showing was the false date. I have an issue with that.
Catherine had claimed that the date somehow changed when he tried to forward it to the DA's office. But look closely, the email was also copied to an address at Tennessean.com. But in Catherine's pic provided to the DA's office, a space suddenly appears in the middle of the email address. Was it altered?
There are several issues that need to be addressed here in terms of the civil rights, in terms of the criminal action with the email.
These questions come a day after Catherine's resignation, and as the House Speaker continues to deal with the controversy over his former chief of staff's text messages, included a 2016 text message where Catherine said black people are idiots, where he used the N-word, and where in an exchange with the Speaker, he used this black people meme, apparently in reference to a West Tennessee district.
I think if the Speaker of the House had come out last week and said that I'm sorry that these words were used and made a genuine apology, I think that that would have been a good first step. Certainly not the end, but that would have been a good first step.
An apology is not enough. I don't want to hear I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I want measured steps. I want action taken. I don't want any more words. None.
Representative Vincent Dixie of Nashville complained that the racist text did not bring calls for Catherine's resignation, that it took vulgar texts about white women, as he put it, to bring about calls for change. That, these lawmakers argued, says something.
We want to change that deep state of bigotry, that deep state of misogynism that exists up here on Capitol Hill. That's where the Black Caucus is going, and we won't stop until we get there.
And tonight, the TBI says it is aware of the Black Caucus's request for an investigation. Nashville DA Glenn Funk has asked the state's DA's conference to appoint a special prosecutor. And the TBI says it will be working with that agency to figure out its next.
That's some bullshit. Now, the first damn video that I did about this shit, they always talking about investigation. And US Today went and did their own thing. You know, they like to, you know, what they do is they drag their feet and hope we'll forget about it. You know? That's why it's important to have the media. They think they motherfucking slick. They got busted. And I do agree with the younger brother with all that, well, apology could have started. Stop all that motherfucking coon ass shit and trying to be inclusive and come together. If we don't know, we ain't gonna never know about the enemy's nature. And we always trying to sit at the table with these motherfuckers and trying to figure out, you know, trying to get some acceptance like, I'm not your enemy and all. No. Like I said a long time ago, in the unquote animal kingdom, they know who their enemies is. But like Vicky Diller said, our open enemy, blatant, to the core, in your face. You got to know your territory. Study animals. They respect each other's spaces. They don't respect ours at all. And we don't respect theirs at all either. So when you be up in they shit and stuff, you gon' eventually, something gonna happen to you. You know, Lisa did that video the other day where them white supremacists, he part of some white boy group, and they scribble, they was trying to spell nigga, couldn't between 3 white people, they couldn't spell nigga on his face, and I guess the pain was so great he passed out, then they fucked him in the ass. So you're not respecting their space. So whatever happened to you, I don't feel sorry for you when you purposely take your black ass to the enemy. We don't need to be inclusive with no one. We need to be amongst ourselves. They will never, ever change. I'm ranting. I know this is a long video, but I'm on one. So, next video. A little bit of this overlaps, but it's necessary to get the full picture.
Tonight, Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassidy's office confirms the authenticity of text messages in which his chief of staff brags about his use of illegal drugs.
Included is a text where Cade Cothran brags about snorting cocaine inside his legislative office. And now we've also uncovered other texts where both men speak of women in vulgar terms.
Now, all of this comes days after News Channel 5 uncovered racist text messages from the chief of staff. Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, has another News Channel 5 Investigates exclusive. Phil.
Well, guys, the latest text messages were sent back in 2015 and 2016 when Cade Cothran was press secretary for the Tennessee House Republican Caucus. They're part of the same batch of text messages from a former acquaintance that the House Speaker last week has suggested were bogus.
The motion to reconsider is tabled.
On Thursday, it was business as usual on the floor of the Tennessee House of Representatives, just hours after News Channel 5 Investigates revealed the existence of racist text messages sent by the House Speaker's Chief of Staff, Cade Cothran.
My chief of staff is up here. He's up here working. He did nothing wrong.
Among Cothran's text messages, there was this 2015 text, "Black people are idiots." In another, he insisted on using thug N-word to describe Tampa Bay quarterback Jameis Winston. And in a 2016 exchange with Cassidy himself, Cothran responded with this black people meme, apparently referring to a West Tennessee district. The House Speaker claimed he never got such a text.
Again, it kind of verifies in my mind there's something not right about that story.
It was a theme Cassidy continued on talk radio.
In this environment that we live in, because we as conservatives are winning the intellectual battle, I'm convinced some liberal guy living with his mom and dad in their basement created this to frame my chief of staff.
But the text messages also included this selfie that Cothran had taken at 2:15 a.m. during a trip to Colorado. He texted, "Tripping balls out of my mind at 2:15. Craziest experience of my entire life. Acid, cocaine, weed." He also shared this video from a concert at the Red Rocks Amphitheater and this wild scene from a party bus. After a 2015 trip to the Dominican Republic, Cothran also texted, "Just did a gram of cocaine in my office." It was sent at 10:38 a.m. on a work day. You refer to Jameis Winston as a thug. How can you justify that? After ignoring our previous questions about his racist text messages, Cothran responded this time with a written statement. Regarding the texts in question, I readily admit that I sent some of them. While I'm not proud of who I was in the past, I am proud that with God's grace and a strong support system, I've been able to achieve so much in the years since.
Now look at that motherfucker. That's 32 years old. Wore the fuck out. He's still on drugs. He high right now when you looking at his ass. He toe back. Toe the fuck back.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Cassidy himself had backed legislation in 2014 cutting off welfare recipients who tested positive for drugs. But in the case of Cothran, who makes $200,000 a year, the House Speaker was more lenient. Politics has become a game of gotcha with no thought of forgiveness and starting anew. I choose to believe that we all deserve a shot at redemption. Do you think that black people are idiots? But it wasn't just comments about minorities. We also obtained other text messages in which Catherine solicited sexual favors from legislative interns and suggested sex with a female lobbyist who was older than him. I want you to be my first older woman, he texted. In one case in 2016, Catherine texted this pic of a female friend pole dancing to Cassida. The House Speaker responded, "Nice pics." Catherine, hands to yourself. The Speaker, "Can I just touch?" Catherine, LOL, okay, maybe just once. The Speaker, LOL. Of course, this follows a legislative session in which Cassida repeatedly dodged questions about allegations that a member of his own party had sexually assaulted 3 teenage girls years ago.
Wow.
Now, after the Speaker accused us of airing fabricated text messages, Kate Catherine suddenly says he cannot remember whether he sent them or not. As for the drug use, the legislature's Black Caucus is now calling for the TBI to
Okay, now he done lost his motherfucking memory and shit, you know. All of a sudden he done, you know, that he'll blame that on the alcohol and the drugs and all that kind of shit like that. So this is the last video. This motherfucker didn't, they had to let him go.
The embattled chief of staff to House Speaker Glenn Cassida has now become his former chief of staff. Kate Catherine resigned just 4 days after News Channel 5 Investigates first exposed his racist text messages.
And it was just hours after we also revealed new text messages detailing his use of illegal drugs. News Channel 5 chief investigative reporter Phil Williams continues to track all the latest developments.
In the end, Kate Catherine told me he simply decided it was best for him to step down so that Tennessee Republicans could get on with their agenda.
The motion to reconsider is tabled.
For days, House Speaker Glenn Cassida had defended Catherine, even suggesting that News Channel 5 was airing text messages that had been fabricated. Text messages in which he said black people are idiots, used the N-word, and responded to a text from Cassida himself with this black people meme. The House Speaker claimed he never got such a text.
Again, it kind of verifies in my mind there's something not right about that story.
But the text messages also included this selfie that Catherine had taken at 2:15 a.m. during a trip to Colorado. He texted, "Tripping balls out of my mind at 2:15. Craziest experience of my entire life. Acid, cocaine, weed." He also shared this video from a concert at the Red Rocks Amphitheater and this wild scene from a party bus. After a 2015 trip to the Dominican Republic, Catherine also texted, "Just did a gram of cocaine in my office." It was sent at 10:38 a.m. on a work day.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
We also obtained text messages where Catherine made sexual advances toward legislative interns and engaged in vulgar chit-chat about women with Cassida himself. In one case in 2016, Catherine texted this pic of a female friend pole dancing to Cassida. The House Speaker responded, "Nice pics." Catherine, hands to yourself. The Speaker, "Can I just touch?" Catherine, LOL, okay, maybe just once. The Speaker, LOL. The question now, after Cassida went to the mat to defend his chief of staff, will Republicans still stand with the Speaker? Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.
Thanks, Phil. And you can see more of Phil's investigation into Catherine's drug use and text messages right now posted on newschannel5.com.
The embattled...
So, the Speaker of the House is a lying motherfucker. Cause he know he sent that shit. That's all he do is play on that motherfucking government issue cell phone. Boy, you got a low IQ. But you see, soon as he get up out of school, get a top ass position, and he's so stressed. You stressed making all that money. You don't know the fuck you doing. You walking around jaded all day, high, pissy drunk. And they be smelling that alcohol on them because it come out their pores. And they'll just play dumb. All about privilege, just walking around arrogant. Boy, you busted. And it was sweet to watch the whole thing go down. go down. The government throughout America ain't shit. Ain't shit. This shit is all a charade. It's like getting cheap-ass toilet paper. Cheap-ass toilet paper. It don't hold up. That's how I look at them. It's just a matter of time. On the world stage, Babylon has failed before everyone's eyes. See, the quicker all of this completely fall, we rise to the top, the cream. We don't want to hold this thing up. Release, 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 release. Stop trying to look at these people to have a change of something. Is some of us still fucking lost? This is their nature. And so when you're questioning things about their behavior, blah, 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 really what you're doing is talking about the good in you. Well, why they didn't do this and why they didn't do that. We are the true humans on this earth. We are the only ones. And these people are done. Are done. But they want to play like, they just want everything to keep running the way it runs for them. They holding on for dear life, but you see them every day falling apart. They leader up there crazy than a motherfucker. He falling apart and all the way down the trough, the pig's trough, with all that slop in it. That's all pigs eat is slop. You don't know what the fuck is in slop. So my royal family, I know it's long, but you know, it get like that sometimes. I do these videos on pure emotion, even though I do my studying and researching, pure emotion. I'm gonna always keep it core. And I expect the same from you. So my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.